All right, so let's start this broadcast with our top focus, where after tightening its territorial stranglehold in areas adjoining Kabul, the Taliban is now inching closer to the Afghan capital. The insurgents, we're given to understand, are just about 50 kilometers away from the capital city of Kabul. Local sources have suggested that the Taliban has also managed to infiltrate into Maidan Sheher, where heavy fighting was ongoing near the governor's compound. The capital of the Wardak province, Maidan Sheher, is the gateway to Kabul, and the Taliban is literally in touching distance of the Afghan capital, with the country's second and also the third largest cities already having fallen into Taliban hands. Now, Kabul is one of the last few remaining cities that is still under the control of the Afghan forces. It is practically here that the Afghan forces will have to put up their last stand if they intend to in any way push back against the Taliban. Now, the shocking speed at which the Taliban advance has actually carried out has left the United States and other countries scrambling to airlift its nationals out of Kabul. The US Marines have in fact returned to Kabul to oversee the emergency evacuation of the embassy staff, that is the American embassy staff, back to the United States. The Kabul residents, who fear that they could be at the receiving end of Taliban violence, along with tens of thousands of those who sought refuge in Kabul in recent weeks, are also now fleeing the country on flights that are still available from Kabul's international airport. Now, ever since the Taliban took control of several of the country's provincial capitals over the past week, tickets for flights outside of Afghanistan have become very, very expensive. The long queues were seen at the check-in counters inside the airport. Now, Afghanistan's second and the third largest cities, Herat in the west and also Kandahar in the south, have fallen to the Taliban, and so has the capital of the southern province of Helmand. Taliban now holds practically more than half of Afghanistan's 34 provincial capitals and controls more than two-thirds of the Afghan territory. And now, to get us more updates in terms of what is unfolding in Afghanistan, we are joined in by my colleague Anas Malik, who is joining us from Kabul over the phone line. Good afternoon to you, Anas. What is the latest in terms of what is unfolding in Afghanistan?
Well, there's chaos on the streets of Kabul, Saleh, as the Taliban are inching close towards the capital, which we saw earlier reports earlier in the reported as well that there was a fighting, fierce battle that is ongoing in Wardak province, that is to the closest proximity to the capital city of Kabul, where I am, and there is immense traffic that I see on the roads. There is increased security measures that I see on the roads. Wardak is known as the gateway to Kabul. It's southwest to the Kabul city. It is the entrance, or it leads rather to the entrance of to different other provinces of the city. It connects different provinces to the city as well. And it is just located about 30 miles southwest, roughly 60 kilometers from the capital city of Kabul. There is fighting that is ongoing in Maidan Sheher. The Darwaza Wardak is where we have been told that the fight has been ongoing. I was recently there as well, very recently, in Wardak about 2 weeks ago. Out of the 9 districts, the Taliban had control on at least 3 of them, where the evenings, or rather the nights, were with the Taliban, and the mornings or the days were the government each and every day. But this renewed offensive and the renewed onslaught by the Taliban now seems to increase, and they now seem to be approaching towards the capital of Kabul. As we speak, I can just confirm to you to another development related to Afghanistan, where the Taliban have claimed to take over and capture the province of Paktika. There are increasing speculation within Afghan media that there might be a presidential address in some time from now, or a recorded message from President Ashraf Ghani. With regards to that, there are speculations within the Afghan media. There is a section of the Afghan media that is reporting this presidential address through its sources. given to understand that there is no official word from the Earth or the presidential palace as yet on this much talked about presidential address.
Absolutely. Now, one other question that a lot of people want to know at this point of time is the Americans had been trying to help out the Afghan security forces. They have been carrying out airstrikes on Taliban positions on and off. So at this point of time, with Taliban camping just 50 kilometers outside of Kabul, what is the level of American involvement in repelling the Taliban?
Well, we saw late last night drone strikes and U.S. airstrikes both. Airstrikes by the U.S. forces and then drone strikes as well in Logar and in Medan. But Logar was captured yesterday and claimed yesterday by the Taliban. Today there is an onslaught on Medan Bardak, which is known as the gateway of Kabul. So the Americans have been lending support to the Afghan government, but to quote an official, a senior American official, they say that they only act when the Afghan government asks them to act, and they cannot act on their own. So last night we did see airstrikes coming in on Wardak in the province of Wardak by the U.S. American forces, by the U.S. AF, and then there was a separate strike, that was a drone strike, that took place in the eastern side of the country, that was in Logar. Logar province also happens to be in close proximity with Kabul. I was in Logar as well about 2 weeks ago, and yesterday we saw the fall of Logar as well. As we speak, the American involvement is there. They are also, on the other hand, on one hand, they're trying to evacuate their embassy. On the other hand, they're trying to get this semblance or this impression that they are not leaving the U.S. forces, the Afghan forces behind, and that they will continue to do their utmost to support the Afghan forces as and when they are followed.
All right. Now, another thing that I want you to talk to us a bit about, Anas, is what is happening at the Kabul airport. We are given to understand that there are long queues that are being witnessed at the Kabul airport, as whoever is able to pay and is capable of is now trying to fly out of Afghanistan, provided a flight is available for it. Give us a sense of what's happening at the Kabul airport. Will Kabul airport remain functional?
Well, it is too early to predict the functionality of the Kabul airport in case, if anything, if there is an onslaught on Kabul itself. The Taliban have been putting out videos, or have been putting out statements. Yesterday we saw a flight in Badakhshan, UN flight operating to Badakhshan from Kabul and to another Taliban-controlled area. The Taliban would want to create this semblance of normalcy. But as I said to you earlier in the morning, that the government deafening silence is creating unrest. The unrest is creating chaos. It is creating anxiety, and anxiety is leading to panic. Flights out of Kabul are almost second to none. There are three major international operators that operate, airline operators that operate to and from Kabul. Almost all of them are booked, or if not booked, they've raised their prices to double or even triple the normal fare. There are no flights to Pakistan even. There are usually 2 flights from Kabul to Islamabad per day, but seat bookings to that are now at as early as the 1st of September. So one can very well understand the gravity of the situation, because, as I said, because of the government silence, this is leading to greater unrest, chaos, and eventually all of this is transpiring into panic as well. As I said, when we started this conversation, there is traffic on the road towards the city gates of Kabul, which and there's mostly the traffic that is coming in.
All right, the line with my colleague Anas seems to have dropped there, but this of course is the situation even as we speak. The Taliban seems to be inching closer to the capital city of Kabul and is presently camped just about 50 kilometers away from the capital city. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.